everyone, I'm Olivia from Houses Flipping People, and I'm here in Dallas today with Grant, about to start shooting his journey, how he became a real estate investor. And I know, Grant, we're gonna go over your first deal and the numbers. What else are we covering on this episode?
Yeah, so what we're gonna go over is how I increased my net worth to over 1.7 million in 1 year and 9 months from when I joined. A couple of really memorable experiences about some of the sellers that I've helped out, and we're ready to rock and roll, so let's go check it out.
Grant, what a pleasure to have you here on Houses Flipping People. How long have you been a real estate investor?
Not too long, about 1 year, 9 months, that's it.
And let's go back in time, even though it's just been 1 year, 9 months. How was your first deal?
When the housing market crash happened in 2006 through 8, that time frame, my wife, before I even met her, bought a house. She bought it as with a first-time home buyer loan, predatory interest rate, and then she met me a few years later. And I had a friend that also happened to be a small-time real estate investor tell me to keep it as a rental. And I had no idea how to be a landlord, anything. But we did the math together, and he actually gave me a $10,000 loan, asset-based lending back then, just so I could qualify to buy our new homestead.
How long ago was that? How many years?
Over 10 years. Now, the interesting part about that was I thought to myself, if I had 10 of these houses, I could refinance on rotation, one every year, and make six-figure income just on the refinances.
So if you would have had sold the house back in the day, 10 years ago, you would have had lost money.
Yeah, my wife bought it for $155. We could have sold it for $160, but the house had issues. We had to fix the foundation, fix the plumbing.
I guess if you knew what you know today back then, what would you do differently?
I would have bought all the houses I could buy, right? Every single one of them, as long as it's a deal. And I didn't know all the creative ways to invest in real estate. Back then, it was you have to put 20% down, get a loan in your name, all of that stuff. But now that I know all the creative ways to get deals, I've been a lot more successful if I would have known that back then. But.
And I think that's where when people say the rich get richer, and the people who does not know the strategy and how to get there, it just keep struggling through their entire life. If you wouldn't have met that person to kind of tell you, no, hold on, keep us a buying hold for right now, you would not be here with me today sharing your journey. We're chasing the money, but we're not using the gift that we have in our hands. That is all this knowledge that, thankfully we have today.
What projected me into real estate is I clicked on a Facebook ad, joined the group that we're in together. Then I got my actual first deal. And that was 1 week after I joined the group. And I used just a few words that I learned in the group to talk to someone knocking on a door. But before I got to their door, I'm a little bit of an introvert, right? It may not seem like it, but I'm terrified to talk to new people naturally.
A lot of people are super scared to go door knock, and it is scary. Door knock is one of my favorite strategies when it comes to marketing, because who has what I want and who needs my help is all inside that property. Did you wholesale that deal?
No, I did the burst strategy, right? So I did the buy, renovate, refinance, heat, all that good stuff. And I did a cash out refinance on that because I'm all about doing a cash out refinance and building wealth long term. I got $127,000 cash out after accounting for $42,000 renovation. So I got more cash out, but the 127 was net.
That's fantastic. Congratulations, because not everybody are able to make that much money on their first deal. Now, did you do that deal by yourself, or did you bring a partner in?
I had an experienced real estate investor help me structure the deal and verify comps, fill out the contract. That was the only thing I really needed, was to fill out a contract, because I'd never done a contract before. I had him commit to sell me his house, but I didn't know how to do paperwork.
Now, was that person that helped you was a person from our inner circle, from our network?
Yes.
And how about the contractor? Did anyone from our network help you with the renovation on that particular property?
Yes. So I was referred to a contractor, general contractor, by our group, and is a member of our group as well. So everything that I did was within our real estate group.
So isn't that amazing that you're a brand new investor, you went there, took action to go speak with that seller. You didn't really want to partner because you want to keep as a buying hold, but you found all the resources that you need inside our group to help you not to lose the deal.
Right.
Because one little mistake, you can end up losing the deal.
Yes. So it was the knowledge within the group, and I partnered. I paid a small fee related to how much I made. I paid a small fee to have him help me, and the knowledge that he gave me, I was able to repeat on multiple deals after that.
When you told your family that you're going to become a real estate investor, what was their reaction?
Yeah, so when I became a real estate investor, I wanted to do it on the side. Right? So I had a full-time job, I have a college education, 6-figure job, employee benefits, everything.
The security that any person wish.
Yeah. So I grew up, go to college, get a job, all that stuff. And I was really good at my job. So when I got into real estate, it was to build wealth long-term, to be able to retire and not have to worry about relying on Social Security and all that stuff. I brought it up to my wife when I joined the real estate group, and she freaked out. She said, "Are you sure it's just money, and I can't help you in this, it's up to you and what you want to do." So with that first $127,000 I made, I paid her $50,000 of that.
That it kind of changed the trajectory of your family trusting and believing you, because I think there's a lot of that hold back. And going back and telling them, hey, I'm going to become a real estate investor, they freak out.
Yeah. There's so much unknowns, fear of the unknown, right. So.
And how about your parents? What were their reaction when you told them, hey, I'm switching career?
I did real estate investing for 1 year prior to me leaving my job, right? So I made sure I made a lot of money first before I quit. So,
and were your parents comfortable when that day came?
Yeah, now they're like, how many houses do you have? And I was like, well, this month I bought this many, can you be more specific? And they're like, well, up to this 1 year mark, I bought 16 houses my first year while having a full-time job. I wholesaled 6 of them and kept 10 as buy and holds.
So do you think that they are proud of you now that they're saying, wow, my son is actually really working?
Yeah. They were supportive and very wary, because I grew up in a very conservative household.
Yeah.
Save all your pennies. Don't take on excessive risk. But once you understand the risk of investing in real estate, as long as you get the right price and the right cash flow, it's a win-win no matter what.
But what was the fear that was going through your mind throughout the process?
So my fear was, is it worth it? Am I going to make it?
Am I going to make enough?
Well, am I going to make it in general, right? Like, am I going to make any money back? Like, I was freaking out, right? So I decided to follow a process. And that process was outlined in the group we're in. And I relied on multimillionaires as my coaches.
How many doors have you went to door knock?
A lot.
Like a lot. If you would throw a number in the air.
Yeah. So on an average day, it's a Saturday, maybe 20 to 30 doors.
What to keep you motivating to be able to get up every morning and be an entrepreneur and go get the next deal? How do you get motivated?
So I would say, in general, motivation comes and goes. You can be inspired and have a very high level of motivation one day, and then the next month, you don't want to get out of bed.
I think when we don't take it for granted, the knowledge that we have and the power that we have to go today to a person, a family who is in their darkest moment in their life, that they're losing everything. They're losing 100% everything, but we give them the hope that tomorrow will be better and we'll make that happen.
So can I share one story about, I guess this would kind of explain how I remain motivated. So there's this little old lady, she lives here in Dallas, and I have knocked on her door. So I knock on her door, she's hopeless, she's freaking out, and I kind of start explaining what her options are. And her house is worth $270,000, needs $30,000 in repairs. It's an old house, needs a bunch of repairs, but it's got good bones. And she doesn't have $30,000, she's on Social Security, and she doesn't have the payoff, which is another $120K.
How much money do you think she's gonna make?
Whatever we can sell it for.
What are you predicting?
Expenses. Okay. So doing the math, 270,000 times 0.18, so that's 48,000. that just goes away in expenses. And then the 150, okay, so 270 minus 48 equals 222 minus the 150. So about 72,000.
When you knock on a door like this, and there is a lot of homework, a lot of knowledge that you have to have as an investor to go in, continue to get to know her story, go through probate, working through the entire process, and then do a fix and flip. And you're pretty much helping her more here than yourself. How much money are you making?
So 10% of 270, 27,000.
So how long is it taking you to make 27K?
6 to 9 months.
How many hours have you put in between from that day that you went door knocking her house, getting to know her, closing the deals, through renovation, through fix and flip, and we're still going to sell? How many hours did you put it in?
So I outsource a lot of the time-intensive administrative tasks.
Yes.
So initial contact, 1.5, 2 hours. Contractor, 1 hour. Lawyer for probate, 30 minutes.
You do have the power team
so far
that you can trust to make sure everything is being doing the way it needs to be, because anything can fall apart if you don't hire the right team, if you don't network with the right power team.
Right.
Because you can lose everything still because if you don't have the right people on your power team.
Right. So the people that I trust to do the rest of the work, they're putting in a lot more time than I'm putting in. So my realtor, she's going to be putting in a lot more time selling the house. My general contractor, a lot of time. I basically hand him the keys in a lockbox and say, let me know when it's done and let me know if we're going to go over budget.
A lot of time, if you don't have enough knowledge or not having the power team, you're going to really help this lady, because not everyone knows how to work a reverse mortgage. Not everybody wants to go through probate. It would be so much easier to go find 3 more deals, and that is much simpler than go in and help this lady at that point. And the fact that you took the time, you bring all your power team, all your knowledge to spend the time and to be able to help her, to be able to get her to the next future that she's, that you're pretty much helping her to build.
Right.
And I think that's the power that we have today, that we are helping people, we're helping the economy, and we're helping ourselves. But in a deal like this, you should be very proud of yourself, because not everybody have the time, the power team to do it efficient the way you are right now.
And that's really the power of making a lot more money versus doing everything yourself, is relying on other people and sharing what you make. If you share what you make with other people, your realtors, your contractors, or even other real estate investors, you can spend the highest and best value that you can bring with maybe closing deals. And you give away half of your money to a partner that brings you a deal, and you can close it, you can make all the money in the world and have other people manage, and you just help oversee the project and give them advice when they need it.
And what time did you realize that real estate was actually really going to work for you?
When I was, because I still had my job at this time, and I was making $22,000 wholesale fee. This is me 6 months into it, right? And I was typing up wiring instructions because I was going to get a $22,000 wire to me, and it was maybe 6 in the morning. So I woke up early to get it out before I go to work. And my 8-year-old daughter comes in, right? And I'm typing it up, and I started getting really emotional. So I'm like, man, $22,000. This is actually working. And I started bawling my eyes out. And my 8-year-old daughter, she was like, Dad, why are you crying? I was like, sometimes people cry when they're happy. They're really, really happy. She's like, I've never seen you cry before. Right? And I was like, well, when I get hurt, I don't cry, but when I'm really happy. So that was one positive experience. And it just kept building and building. And I remember what did it for me, though, was I did a whole bunch of deals, and I was maybe 9 months into it, right? And I did one deal on Saturday, door knocking, and that was making me $200,000, right? In that month, I'd done 4 other deals, right? And I go to work Monday morning, make 100K on Saturday, go to work Monday morning, and someone's correcting a PowerPoint presentation I had. It was an Excel spreadsheet. I didn't capitalize something on a column. And they're like, oh, you didn't fix that. And I was like, and I mentally checked out at work after that.
Did you give a 2 weeks notice, or did you just pack and leave? Because I had some people that like, I am sorry. That was not even 2 weeks.
No. I told my boss how much I was making in real estate. He was like, what?
And why are you still here?
This isn't a prison. You can leave anytime. If you were my own son, I would tell you to walk out the door and never come back.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's from your boss.
Right. But I stayed at work, and I just started working out at the gym at work instead of working. I started answering my phone, doing real estate at work, and then eventually I'm like, at the end of the year. Yeah. So it was a slow death at work.
It's coming, and you can feel that your vision, your goals, and your mentality, it does change when you see the needs our help, that we actually change in their lives and our family by ourselves. You know, when my kids see me doing the deals and working and talking to seller, to the title, to the knowledge that my boys have today is experience that they don't understand how lucky they are at their age. And for your daughter to experience and to see the transition of the dad back then and the dad now, I don't think they can compare. Is your kids, how are they reacting with you today versus the before?
Okay, so now I don't have a real job anymore.
Oh yeah,
I work for
now
myself.
you just hang out.
All right. So now, with my youngest, he's 5. One defining moment in my life, and it seems very small, but it's important to me, is that I was able to drop him off at pre-K and pick him up the same day. I was normally at work. I'd never do that, right?
Yeah.
So it was nice to spend extra time with my kids during the day. And if I want to take a day off, you know, I can help them with their homework. We can go to the park. We can do whatever and spend that quality time with them, because you're never going to get your time back.
Yeah.
You're going to grow up quick, be gone.
And be able to do that, you know, being there for your kids when they get sick or when they get emotional, and that's when we realize as a parent how much we are not there for them when we are not working for ourselves.
Yeah, because I was working 40, 60-hour weeks at a 45-minute commute when I had a real job, right?
How much were you making on that real job on your monthly base?
So I was annual, I was making $104K per year plus employee stock purchase plan plus vested stock. So I was making about $125K a year, great insurance.
Could you share what is your salary right now? And I know it depends on how much effort you put it in on your marketing and on, you know, if you don't take a 2 weeks vacation. But what is your monthly income right now?
When talking about net worth, my net worth increase since I've done real estate, just started year and 9 months ago, has increased 1.77 million since 1 year, 9 months ago. Whether that be liquid assets like cash, retirement, and equity in houses. So that's my net worth, that's my wealth, 1.77 million increase. My passive income on an annual basis, $54,000. If I never did anything else in investment, if I just kept my buy and holds, my passive income is $54,000 per year. And my passive income from my partners is another 30. So 84,000 per year, passive income, never have to do any real estate ever again. My active income, meaning like my flips, my wholesales, since I joined 1 year, 9 months ago, has been about 550K. So if I could go back in a time machine and tell myself, hey, is it worth it? Like, you know, duh, yeah, it's definitely worth it.
How many years do you had to work on your previous job to make what you have today?
At least a decade or more, maybe 2 decades.
And the fact that you were able to do that in 1 year, 9 months, and you didn't have pretty much any experience of real estate besides your first property that was more You know, keep this one because we can sell, because if we sell now, we're going to be on the red. The fact that you didn't have any knowledge, and to be able to be here today, sharing your journey, could you say you are proud of yourself?
Absolutely. And I'm very content with where I am, but I love the process too. So,
do you think your kids today are proud of you?
Oh yeah. So a couple months ago, my 11-year-old, she came home from school with, describe your parent type worksheet thing. And one of the sections said, my dad is really good at real estate. She put it in there, right? So they're proud of me. My wife.
Yeah, right? That was my next question.
She did a 180, all right? So from when I joined real estate, she's like, can you give them your money back? To, okay, it's just money, to we have family dinners. We have this family tradition. Every Sunday, we'll go with extended family, and we'll go eat at their house. All the cousins.
Oh, cool.
All of that. So then she'll talk about, all the deals we're doing, how much money we're making too. So she kind of boasts about it now. She's like, oh yeah, we're making it. Yeah.
Would you ever go back to your previous job?
No way. No way.
It's not even if obvious. They double whatever you're making back then. Maybe your boss now wants to come and do real estate with you if you reach out back to him.
Yeah. It's traumatic thinking about my job. Yeah.
So, and it's not fun. It's a job. And now you do it real estate because it may keep you motivated, keep you young, and keep you giving back to the community. Yeah. Because if you stop today with the amount of knowledge that you have, how many people you're not going to be able to help them to save their property, to save their lives. I have a homeowner who committed suicide 3 weeks ago in Austin. He asked me to help, and I was looking at the number. I was super insane busy. And I kept calling and texting him. 4 or 5 days later, I got the news. Oh, the reason he's not answering the phone because he committed suicide. I was there. I didn't put enough effort to help him because it was a great deal. And he committed. But that's one of those things that the people don't understand. I had a seller die
after I put him under contract. Just died like a week after.
No, this one did commit suicide. Yeah, this one, unfortunately. And I feel awful because I could have had help. If I knew it was that desperation, I could have stopped everything and really be there for him 100%. And it's unfortunately to see family after family, week after week, that we go through like that. They are thanking us to help them to get out of their situation. And it's so frustrating.
So when you talk about what motivates people to do real estate, these things help maintain the motivation.
How many hours of your time have you spent helping family, even though there was no money there for us?
Yeah, I believe in karma. Like, I'd rather stop 20 foreclosures and maybe buy one house than see anybody go to auction out of ignorance.
We're here pretty much talking about, how much money we made and how much it has transformed our life, but how many people we're actually helping on our daily basis. But for some reason, they are so behind because they lose hope, and there is still hope for them. But unfortunately, no one tells them the reality until we come in and bother them and go through marketing to get, to introduce ourselves.
It's not just about making money in real estate. A lot of times helping people is the secret to being the most successful.
In those 48 deals that you had, what are the things that you remember the most, and which deal do you remember the most in all those 48 deals, and why do you remember so much about this particular one?
One comes to mind. There's this woman that lives in Dallas. She was the matriarch. She had a huge family, matriarch of her family. She's getting foreclosed on, and she was in a bad situation because her house was actually seller financed to her. Very high interest rate loan. She was getting foreclosed on. And I talked to her 2 weeks before she was going to lose her house to auction. So what I ended up doing to help her out is said, what do you need? What are you looking to get out of this? Because she had a predatory loan, seller finance deal, but there was still enough meat on the deal for me to pay her a bunch of money. So we ended up paying her $12,500, I believe. We got her a free move. I brought her boxes. I loaded up my 2007 Honda Civic with boxes from Home Depot, brought it over to her house, helped her with that. So one thing that really stands out is that she had a dog. The dog's name was Ladywood, right? Because it was a dog, a stray dog. It was a girl. Yeah. And she came out of the woods because she was abandoned. So she was an abandoned dog that came out of the woods, so they called her Ladywood. So one thing that she really wanted was for us to take care of the dog. She didn't know what to do with the dog because she didn't even have enough money to pay for dog food.
Oh, wow.
And I offered to adopt her dog and rehome it. So I brought a dog cage to the home. The day she got her check, $12,500, that was a down payment for another house that she could get into.
Oh, cool.
She got a free move, and then she got the dog taken care of. I took the dog to a no-kill animal shelter for adoption, and she's the sweetest dog, right? She was adopted. So that's one thing that really stands out is helping people isn't just about giving them money. It's about solving their problems.
In these 1 year, 9 months, how much has real estate transformed your life?
Before I got into real estate, 2007 Honda Civic with 250,000 miles. Do a couple deals. Now I drive BMW X5, turbocharged inline 6. We put a rain shower head, massive rain shower head in our shower. And my wife's like, I don't know what the water bill is going to look like after we do this. And I was like, I got this. I got it.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. We can afford a higher water bill. But really, when it comes down to it, I know that I'm going to be good for the rest of my life. I know that I'm not going to have to worry about having enough money in retirement because I'm set today.
You're not worried about your 401k?
When you talk about returns on investment, I'm not putting any more money into the stock market.
Why not? Why are you that comfortable?
Net passive income from rentals, depreciation tax benefits, all of that will give you a much higher return than you could ever imagine on the best year that the stock market has ever had. And the wealth that you get doesn't go away. Companies will come and go.
This is what it has been here the entire time. We just didn't know. Now that you are doing most of your deals are residential, are you exploring anything into the multifamily and commercial yet?
Right. So that's been on my mind, but I have goals, right? So my initial goal, like I'm going to quit my job, right? When X happens. So my initial goal was I was going to get 20 buy and holds. I haven't really delved into multifamily, but I've just stuck to single family.
It is on your list.
It's on my list.
Coming.
Yeah. So my goal, 30 buy and hold houses that are in my name or my LLC names.
Yeah.
And then I'll be set. My wife can spend whatever money she wants. I'll be set. I can just focus on getting some multifamily deals after that. Because really residential is, even though you make a bunch of money in it.
So Brent, what do you do for fun with your family today?
Go to the park whenever the kids want. Go to the pool, get them out of the house. I'm working from my office at home. We just went on 2 vacations this month.
Really? Where did you guys went?
So we went to Playa del Carmen in Mexico. So we went scuba diving, zip lining, stayed at an all-inclusive resort, hiking, ATV riding, just spending a lot more quality time with my wife.
Who would you like to thank you for you to be here today?
My parents. One thing my parents taught me was the value of working hard, right? Real estate, yeah, there's all the glamorous stuff, buy a car, make a bunch of money. But when it comes down to it, just has to stay consistent. And that's what my parents taught me, is how to consistently work hard. I guess a group of people that I'd like to thank is the inner circle that we're part of. Everyone that I work with is all part of the inner circle that we're in.
Who else would you like to thank you?
My wife. She put that chip on my shoulder when she said, can you get a refund for joining this real estate thing? And but now she's super supportive.
So we can't say you were wrong, because most of the story that we hear is I lost money, someone lost money, because that's why we're sharing our journey. Because if you have the power team, the network, the right mentors, you can be successful. If you know how to do the math, you don't even need to be good at math. You just need to partner with someone who is good in the math. For anyone that is watching us right now, what advice do you have for them?
If you're interested in investing in real estate, if you're interested in, how do I invest in real estate? Where do I start? What do I do? There's so many people that will get on YouTube and watch YouTube University, right? Watch a bunch of videos and never do anything. You've experienced a very short blip in my life. That's my story. you can make it your own story.
Yeah.
Just get out of your head and understand that you can do what I did. You're probably smarter than me. You're probably better with your words. Whatever values that you have to bring to the table, someone else needs that from you. All you got to do is give it a try.
The only reason I'm sitting here today is because my mentors is Phil and Shanoa. The reason you're here sharing your journey in such a short time is because of Phil and Shanoa. And they have taught, over 100,000 people. It wasn't at YouTube or at the library.
Right.
All the people that I interview has gone through the same path through Phil and Shanoa.
And you don't just have to do things you don't know. So learning is the first step, and doing is what makes the learning make you money.
How many people from our network did you partner with in those 48 deals?
I can't even count. I partner with realtors. I do deals all over the state of Texas. I partner with other investors.
But from those 48 deals, would you say half of those did you partner with a person from our inner circle?
I would say there are very few where I didn't partner on some level.
But why are you still partner? Because you already have the knowledge, you have the money for you have all the hard money lenders, you have all the connection. Why are you still partner with people from our inner circle? Why is that important to you?
I can make a lot more money using other people's money. There's real estate investors that want to make maybe a 15% return on their money in 6 months. I'll have them fund my deal. I don't have to worry about paying hard money interest. I don't have to worry about overages if we go over and then having to use some of my own funds. And I'd give them 30% of the profit on the deal. I'll make 70%, they make 30%. So I would rather unlock the ability to make infinite deals by partnering with everyone than limit myself on volume because I only have a certain amount of working capital that I'm willing to spend.
So this is where I say you don't need money,
right?
to become a real estate investor. But you do need knowledge, power, team. What else do you need?
You just need to be consistent.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time and coming here, sharing your journey as a real estate investor. And we can't wait to see you continue to grow and sharing your journey and giving back to the community. Because I think we're all here on this earth for one reason, is we're here to learn and to give and to teach. And I think with real estate, it gives us that opportunity to be a better version of who we were yesterday, every single day. And we live for that. I live for that. So
appreciate it. What goes around comes around, and just putting out good energy.
Yeah. So, and it's hard to put out good energy every single day consistent.
Yeah.
And I think real estate gives us the reminder every day. You can give a little bit more.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, and I really appreciate you.
Thanks. I told my boss how much I was making in real estate, and he was like, "What?
And why are you still here?"
This isn't a prison. You can leave any time. If you were my own son, I would tell you to walk out the door and never come back.
And
You're outsourcing, right?
It kind of hurts my thing because I thought
work sucks. I'm not going to do manual labor my whole life. If you've watched it this long, congratulations.